The Hollow Child. It was a cold night when firefighters got the call. A house was burning in the middle of nowhere. But when they arrived, the fire had already spread to 3 more homes, and as they rushed to put out the flames, they saw something that stopped them in their tracks. A child-shaped shadow standing in the burned houses, laughing. When the firefighters got closer, the shadow turned around, and they could have sworn it was grinning at them. But how could it be grinning if its face was pale white and stretched into a horrifying smile that didn't reach its soulless eyes? The firefighters were terrified. They'd seen things in their line of work, but this was beyond anything they'd ever imagined. Then, it did something that made their blood run cold. It took a step toward them and left behind an imprint of its shoe in the ash. But the most terrifying part was that the shadows seemed to be made of the fire itself. As the firefighters battled the blaze, the shadow moved from room to room, leaving behind a trail of destruction and despair. It was as if the very essence of the fire was taking on a life of its own, consuming everything in its path. But it wasn't just the fire that was terrifying. As the firefighters searched through the rubble, they found strange symbols carved into the walls and floor. They didn't know it at the time, but these symbols were ancient and held a dark, sinister meaning. They were the marks of a ritual gone wrong. And as they continued to fight the fire, they realized that they weren't just battling a blaze. They were facing something evil, something that had been awakened by the fire and was now loose in the world. But as the fire began to die down, so did the strength of the shadow. And as the last ember faded away, the shadow vanished, leaving behind nothing but ashes and the faint smell of sulfur. The firefighters stood there, exhausted and shaken, knowing that they had just witnessed something truly evil. They had faced the Hollow Child and survived. But there was one question that kept them up at night. What does it want?